Hello. Hey,
Hey
how are you?
guys.
I
Hey.
don't know why my camera is not working. Hmm.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Hey Brandon.
Hmm. Well,
Okay.
Hey Lewis.
Hey, how's it going?
yeah.
Good. I have a dreadful feeling that my last Zoom meeting from yesterday afternoon was still recording all night long and today. That's the only
Oh
thing
no.
I can think of that would have been in another meeting.
Oh dear.
Did not sign out of meeting. Maybe. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of for an explanation.
Mm.
Okay.
All
So
right. So what we're going to do for the next couple of few meetings is, for some people this will be a review, but it's always, I think, a much needed review, is to go over some of the tools that we have available to us to help us in our teaching, particularly teaching and helping those that are pitch challenged.
Mhm.
So, we're going to start with the GarageBand tool that we have, and that's what we're going to want to use to help people with melody for the showcase stuff. So if you can be in front of a Mac computer or one of the computers at the studio, that's probably best. Lewis is going to give everybody an assignment, and we're going to have to provide some proof that we're actually able to use it. Okay, so what am I looking at here? Am I looking at? Okay, so you're
yeah,
sharing.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
screen share.
Okay. All right then.
Okay, so we're gonna create a lead track.
Hold on
for
one
pitch-
second. Just a quick question. How many people actually did do the melodic helpful tracks for your pitch challenged students for the last showcase? I knew you did, Heather. Yeah. Yeah. And Lewis, I know you did too. All right. Yeah. So this is really good. And even not just for the performance part, but to help them practice long before,
Yeah.
because some of them, their brains just don't make the connection, so we need to give them some help all along the way in terms of, here's the melody, and if it has to be really loud, so be it. We're helping to train them that way. Yeah. All right. So let's, all right, Lewis, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna start from, we'll go to the applications folder. I'm gonna click on GarageBand.
Is everybody in front of a Mac computer that can go do this along with Lewis?
Well, I can't because he's got the screen share on.
Oh.
So I'm just going.
You can. I think you can minimize the screen share.
Oh, can you? Okay.
I think so.
I only have a PC and I'm sitting
But
in French class right now, so.
You're
The
sitting.
GarageBand is great. I use it all the
French class?
time. So I'm no stranger to GarageBand.
Oh, okay.
Stephanie, did you use that for any of your students for the showcase?
No, but I use it for myself a lot for voiceover auditions and for my demo stuff.
Good.
I'm more
Okay.
familiar with Logic, so.
Yeah,
It's
Logic
kind of like Logic. Yeah.
is very close. Yeah.
Right.
Logic is kind of the next big step up from GarageBand. So good. Everybody's got a familiarity with it. Good.
Let's start with an empty project. And then I'll start with the software instrument when it asks you what kind of track you want. So I'm going to create that. Okay. And then I'm also going to drag my audio file. I just saved it on a desktop. So I'm going to use Kate Sower's Blown Away from the last showcase into a new column. So not on the column with the instrument, and it'll create a new track for you. Okay. Or so I just dragged it below this section. Okay. So
what kind of project did you start? Was it the songwriter one, or was it which one? I know I hate the new GarageBand because it doesn't give you, you have to choose one of their options, which I don't like.
Yeah. I just chose the empty project, and then when it asked me what kind of track I wanted, I selected the software instrument track.
Okay.
And then after that, I just dragged my MP3 file, which I had on the desktop, and I dragged it in underneath the instrument file. So here we have my MP3 file, and then here we have the section for my instrument that I'm going to create the lead guide with. Okay, so if you're familiar with your student song, obviously, you know, you don't have to worry about syncing it to the tempo or to the grid track. You're just going to play the melody line. Okay, so you have a lot of different sound options available. I'm going to go in the lead section. I'm sorry, wait a minute, where are we? The synthesizer section. I'm going to click on lead, and there's one that's called smooth analog lead, and it's a pretty good sound, I think. Let me share my sound so you can hear it. But I mean, definitely feel free to listen through all the sounds. I mean, you don't want something that's too distracting, but you just want something nice and smooth sounding, maybe a string or something with a sustain, and this one has that. Okay. Okay, and also have some options here for reverb and delay. I mean, you can adjust accordingly as well, so it's not too far in the background for your student. Okay, so let's record the lead track. Make sure that this track is highlighted so that when you record, it records to this track, and you can tell it's highlighted because it's lighter, light gray. Okay,
right.
Okay. Another thing, let's say you have one of those tracks with a lot of silence at the beginning. You can trim the intro just by
always a good plan
and dragging it over a little bit, and then at the end as well, if needed. Okay, and that helps out when we're doing the sound. Okay, here goes. I'm gonna do the lead track, or just a little bit of it. Okay, there's a metronome here. You can click it here to disable it.
Because the metronome doesn't necessarily click at the same rate of speed as your track unless you set it, and somehow you have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, you would have to know the tempo of your track and
per minute.
Yeah, and if it's quantized, because sometimes there are live tracks that aren't exactly perfect with the metronome, so it wouldn't be able to sync up to the grid. So I would always disable that and just play it by ear. All right, here we go. So I'm going to select record up here at the top, the red circle. I think our first note is an E. I think that's how it goes. But anyway, all right. So
let's say figure out how to play it.
Yeah.
Well, let's say that one of those notes was a mistake. Okay, so show us how to fix.
Okay. Yeah.
Fix it if you did want to change. Let's say you hit a clam or whatever, right? Okay. So.
Yeah. So in the beginning, I was trying to find my starting note. So you would double click on this area where the melody guide is. I double clicked on it. Oh, sorry. And then this other window pops up here, the piano roll. And so you can highlight a certain note, select delete with your keyboard and to delete it. Or let's say you play the correct rhythm, but you just play the wrong note. So if I was supposed to play D here, I would just shift the note. But before I do that, I want to, can I snap it to the grid here? Let me see.
What does that mean?
That means it keeps it in place on the grid as far as the rhythm or as far as the entry point. So I don't want to slide this over too early. That will mess up where it's supposed to be. But if I snap it to the grid, well, I don't see where I can. Anyway, well, I would just be careful not to slide it to the left or the right. Okay, so let's say that's where I wanted the note to be. I just drag it down. Let's test it out. Okay. the velocity. Where's the
I'm
velocity?
not sure that sound, just my opinion, but I kind of wonder if that sound is a little difficult to work with just because it's got some delay on it and stuff like that, or a lot of reverb on it.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Yeah. So
maybe more of a sawtooth string sound or something.
Yeah, so we can try out some different sounds. Let's try what the soft saw lead. Okay, let's try that out. I mean, that might be better. It has some options here for the reverb and the delay. You can probably turn it down or adjust it however you want it. And then, of course, I mean, there's tons of different sounds over here to find out what works best. But anything like that, I guess that's a pretty good sound. Soft saw lead, that's a good one. And then, of course, you have a lot of different other ones here as well. So you would do that for the whole entire song. If you mess up, of course, you can erase this section, hit record. Well, bring it back a little bit as far as the cursor. Bring it back and record again and do your part over again if you need to fix any parts. I mean, that way you don't have to do the whole entire track over, obviously.
Right.
You don't have to get it perfect in one take. And that's it.
Is GarageBand the
cool.
same logic in that you can highlight a selection of notes and shift all of them at the same time?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they're similar because I just took a class on Logic. So.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
They're very similar. So let's say, this is really helpful if you need to change the key of your student song. Let's say you did the lead track already, but now you need to change the key of the song for whatever reason. All you do is just highlight all of the notes that you did, and you can shift them to whatever key that you're in. Okay. You also want to change the track when we do Amazing Slow Downer, but I guess we can save that for a different class. But that way it's already saved. Or let's say if somebody already did one last year for the showcase. Well, if it already has a lead guide on there, you can just do it on Amazing Slow Downer. Never mind. I'm getting too deep in. It's not necessary. Okay. Yeah, and then you can adjust the volume. Let's say if they really need it cranked up, you can turn it all the way up here, or you can turn it down some more here. Adjust to taste and what will be effective. And that's it. So after that, you would export it or save as.
Save as.
I'm gonna say Kate lead track. Wait, that was the GarageBand file. Hold on, let's see.
Save it as I just save it to the desktop as what do they call it? Just file.
Yeah, but you have to go to share, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so share to iTunes.
Export song to disk.
There we go.
That'll save it on your desktop. Then you can use it however you want. Yeah.
I would recommend using the WAV or AIFF because they both burn to disks anyway, and MP3 will compress the file and shrink the quality of the audio.
Yeah, but I think we've been using MP3 for the showcases. Oh, you know what? I mean, well, actually, no,
because
they're larger files. Yeah.
WAV and AIFF will both play in iTunes, and they'll both export to CDs and everything. The only difference is that MP3 was created to be able to put on super small disk drives when the MP3 was first created. But if you want to use that, that's totally fine. I just didn't know if.
Yeah, I think we switched to MP3 to save space or to email to students because it was such a large file.
Yeah, MP3 to email to students. That makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then export.
And we're done. It's on the desktop here. And then you can email it to your student and upload it to Dropbox for the showcase. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Any questions?
No, looks cool.
Tell me again how you got to the part where you can move the MIDI things around. How you got to region. I mean to
the piano roll. Okay. So I just double clicked on this section that I
you double click on the track itself?
Yeah.
And it opens up the okay, and then it shows the MIDI information there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then again, explain. I kind of lost the explanation of why we shouldn't try to click and drag the notes. The left, right?
It affects the rhythm or the timing of when the note is played. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, if your timing is off, though, you'd want to fix that, right?
Oh yeah. Well, of course. Yeah.
How about showing them how to quantize it? Because wouldn't that be important or not?
No, because we don't know the tempo of the song. Right. If we did know it, that would be a great tool to
gotcha.
use.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not sure if they have the feature on Logic. I mean, I think they have the feature on Logic where you tap the tempo and it tells you the tempo.
Yeah.
Okay, so from my understanding of Logic, at least, I really have never worked with GarageBand. When you quantize it, it just does it to the measure counts, not to the tempo. So it'll just if you quantize this to the nearest 16th note, it would just shift everything back to the nearest 16th note as it is in bars. It won't do it according to the tempo of the song. So if you're off by an eighth and you quantize it back by an eighth note, it'll just shift over and it'll line up with the track, regardless of what the tempo is listed as in the project. But I don't know if GarageBand is different with that. If that's just a feature with Logic. Okay. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
It's the same way. You have to, like you said, if you did it to the 16th note or the 8th note, it would do the same thing, based on. But you have to know the tempo of the track, so it kind of helps out sometimes. But sometimes even when you quantize,
makes it harder. Yeah, you got to fix all the quantizing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
All
right. Well, do you have an assignment to give us?
Yes. Okay. So I want you to take one of your tracks that you worked with one of your students at the last showcase, or any track you're familiar with, and create a lead guide track for it, for the whole song. And then export it, and then we'll take a listen to it next week. So should we create a folder on Dropbox?
Do this before next week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Lewis, can you create a folder on Dropbox and share it with everybody?
Yes.
It'll be our assignments. Yay!
Yay!
Shouldn't take long though. Doesn't take long, right?
It shouldn't take long. Yeah. Or let's do a verse in the chorus. How about that? A verse in the chorus.
One thing I think is important to point out is I don't think you necessarily have to play every single note of the melody. Once they hear the note, they know their pitch that they're coming in on, it's getting every little eighth note right and stuff doesn't necessarily help them that much, so it's just, getting them in there. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I had a student at the last showcase who, was it Royals? So there's not a lot of musical information on there. So I kind of gave her first note and stuff like that. And especially in the harmony part.
I heard that.
Was to help her stay.
But nobody in the audience would have known. I don't think.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I heard that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good. Awesome. All right. Just a quick reminder: have you guys been trying to get people to submit those Yelp and Google reviews? Has anybody made efforts in that department? Because I haven't seen any coming in yet, and we need them.
I'm waiting for my Yelp account to be approved, but I can do my Google review now, actually, since I will have time, since I'm in front of my laptop. But I don't have any students to recommend them to.
That's okay. Yeah. So just like we said last week at last week's meeting, after the showcase, that's when I want you guys to really be proactive with that stuff. Please do it, okay? Because it really does. I mean, I can't do everything. You guys got to help me, and we need reviews from all the students, you know, and that
I know
drive traffic to you. So
yeah, I know when I was looking up SLaS and looking for voice lessons and everything, I was checking out the reviews. So
yeah, everybody does.
Looking at them.
Yeah. So you guys got to help. You guys got to do that. Okay. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. All right. So we got our assignment. We're ready to go. All right. Cool.
All right.
Louis, stay on for just a few minutes. I want to talk to you about the Voce Vista stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Okie
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye. Bye, Heather. And you can stop recording, or I can. Is it? I'm recording. Okay.
Yeah.
It's me. Yeah. So where are we with that stuff? Because you haven't responded to my emails.
I'm sorry. I put all the stuff on the audio files.
Well, you put the audio files, but yeah, have you gotten anywhere with
the vocal fry sound? I haven't recorded that yet.
Yeah. Well, were you planning to do anything in terms of actually capturing it on Voce Vista, or is that back in my ballpark?
No. I only had it on that one computer in Alpharetta, so
I had asked you if that was still on the computer in Alpharetta, because what happened was when I gave you the link, apparently there's only 2 allowed per license. So then they I forget the word, they turned it off on all the computers that I had tried to load it on. So that's why I was wondering if you actually even still had it.
Oh, yeah, last time I checked, I still had it, because I remember you sent me the email about that, and I still had it on my computer.
Okay. All right.
So
good.
So you can only do it on, okay, because I only put it on the one in Alpharetta.
What he did was he allowed me to actually have 4. So that's why I was wondering if yours was still active, because I have one at home, and then I have both of my computers at each studio. So the big computers at each studio, they both have, Voce Vista. So if yours isn't working, in other words, if it's been turned off, you can use the one on mine.
Okay. So the thing with, I can capture the screenshot, but I don't know about any of like the
exporting it and all.
Yeah, and then how to I know you want to like draw or circle.
I think that's got to be an Adobe thing, which I'm sure it's easy to figure out. So
yeah.
Were you able to watch those classes that I sent you?
I started watching one of them. It's really, really, really good stuff.
Aren't those guys great? I mean, you remember them from the last conference. Yeah.
Because I remember when they were doing, I was like, when they were doing the Voce Vista demonstrations and during the class, and then when I got the one that I ordered, I was like, this doesn't seem like it's the same.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think the one that I got is a step higher than the one they're using anyway. I got the Pro video version, and I think that might be a step higher than the one they're actually using to demonstrate in the classes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah, well, I'm still struggling to try to figure out if I really am seeing what I think I'm seeing on the screen. I'm just like, I'm totally unsure as to what the information is providing us,
Yeah, I've been experimenting with. I was like, okay,
Where's the formant? I mean, I'm feeling like you can't see the formant, but you can see the harmonics, or I might be wrong about that. I don't know. So, yeah. All right. Well, I just wanted to know if yours was still working and where we are with that. But yeah, we do need to do the fry.
So do you want to do how they did it, where they did vowel sounds with the fry, or?
You do each vowel sound. So male, front vowels, back vowels. That's all we need. And then I guess I can probably do the female ones here. Because now I have Voce Vista. I'll just do it directly on Voce Vista. Myself. Yeah. Yeah, but just go ahead and load that on on Dropbox. So
Okay.
okay, good. Was there anything else?
I had one person do the whistle. I had a student do a whistle, but
No way.
Yeah, and it was actually a male student, but he wasn't able to do all vowels. So I don't know if that. I mean,
I'm not sure you can whistle on all vowels. I don't think you can.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Very
and
cool.
I have a female student who can as well, but I don't know if just one demonstration is good enough or whatever.
Yeah, a female would be good just to see if there's different, I mean, the harmonics have to be so far apart from each other up there. I mean, it'd be interesting to see if there is any difference between male and female.
Yeah, it was just like three harmonics. It was just really,
They're
it was like
this far apart.
They're really spaced. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It was very interesting. I was like, wow, that's different.
Yeah, so that tells you that, you can see when you're in chest voice, all those harmonics are showing, and if you're in chest voice with good vocal induction, you see all the harmonics, but then the higher up they get, the fewer upper harmonics there are.
Yeah.
Which is kind of counterintuitive. I don't know why. I always thought there was more high harmonics with like a piercing soprano than there would be, but no, nope. So yeah.
Very interesting stuff.
Yeah, it is interesting stuff. Very interesting. All right. Well, I will look forward to seeing that on Dropbox then. Thanks for the class today.
No problem.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.